Welcome! Gather around. We make a sacrifice to the dark gods. Today, gaming gets better. This week, it only continues to ravage the lands. Baldur's Gate gets patch 5, growing somehow larger every single patch. Dragon's Dogma gameplay reveal. Path of Exile 2 showing off new classes. Rogue Trader this week. What is happening? Where? Why? So many games! This dark heart cannot take it. Join me in fervent praise the dark gods of gaming. Welcome to the Just Gaming Podcast. Take your seats, my friends. We begin. For the gods!
We need a metal intro after that. After you do something like that, we need to just like a bass drop, just metal intro. Be great.
Yeah. Oh man. So I started a cult.
Yeah, you did, and I am not shocked. You were going through and telling me all the stuff you're doing. I was like, sounds about right.
Yeah. So I started playing Cult of the Lamb. And I'm a big roguelike fan. And yeah, dude, I'm having way more fun than I thought I would, and I had no idea how great this game was, and apparently it's been around for a really long time. It's like one of those games it's like always been on your radar, but you just never gave it a shot.
Yeah. You've always heard about it, but you just
well, I didn't know what it was. You just see like a screenshot or something, and you're like, okay, but you don't know what kind of game it is. Yep. And then you finally sit down and play it, and you're like, what is this? Is the greatest thing I've ever played in my life. Really good example of this. Divinity Original Sin 2. I saw it all over the place, posters plastered all over the place. I worked at a video game store when the game came out. I was like, oh, this totally looks like something that would be up my alley, but I just never gave it a shot until, many years later, and then I was like, oh, this is my jam. This is good. This
is real good.
So yeah, I've been utterly addicted to Cult of the Lamb over the last couple days. Lord. My cult, in it, we believe in the afterlife, but we also believe that our elderly should not die of natural causes. So every couple of days, we hold a fight night where we have the elderly fight each other to the death.
First rule of the cult, so we don't talk about the cult.
We don't talk about the cult. Otherwise, the only other way is by sacrifice of the flesh, to appease me, of course, there, Dark Lord. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I just love the grind of the game. There's like 2 different sections of it where you actually have like the combat where it's like a typical like roguelite, going through floors, finding weapons and stuff like that. And then you flip and you go to the other side, and then it's like a little like building kind of thing where you're like building a little town. I mean, you're building a cult is what you're doing, but yeah, so like you have a statue.
A village. You're building a village.
I'm building a community. Okay, I'm building a community. So so you have like a statue in the middle that they all worship that gives you devotion for you to be able to learn to build other things in the camp. You have dark altars for them to be able to like sanctify materials to turn them into better materials for refinement. They all live in little huts over on the side, and now I've actually designed those huts to make it where I can extract even more devotion when they're sleeping.
You will love me in your sleep.
It's so much fun. It's such a good game. It's such a juxtaposition because it's also like adorable, like these cute little cartoon animals with big eyes, and they make like whoa whoa whoop, 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 like noises. Like they don't have like actual speaking or anything like that. It's
as you're hiding bodies from them so they don't get mad. Yeah.
Oh no, we don't hide them. We use them as compost for our food so we can eat them later.
Nice.
Or
nice.
we can break them down, cut them into pieces, and then feed them to my followers to increase their faith.
Oh my god. Yeah, that game's pretty intense. It's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. What have you been playing?
I have fallen deeply, madly back in love with Baldur's Gate. Not that I ever fell out, but it was one of those things like, we spent too much time together. I need to see other people. Now I'm like, I'm sorry I left you. I'm back. Will you take me back? And I have literally... I'd probably say over the course of my vacation, probably put in a good 120 hours into Baldur's Gate.
Wow. Yeah. No lifing it while on your little vacation, huh?
Yeah, just me and Pickles, just chilling.
Just chilling, just
sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. She ain't got no teeth, so now her tongue hangs out her mouth.
That's
kind of gross. Not really. It's gross.
So, yeah. I mean, I can't believe like you talk about it. It's like, I spent some time away from it. It's like the game came out like a couple months ago.
Okay, but you got to think we've been playing Baldur's Gate for a long time.
That is true.
What I mean?
That is true.
And when the game came out, I did nothing. Like I put in a solid 300 hours into the game. Like 300 hours into a game, then you're like, okay, I need to go see what else is out there, type deal.
Yeah.
And Larian, they just keep making this game better and better and keep adding to it. And
so,
it made me curious to go back and.
So actually, the funny thing is that Cult of Lamb, and then going into our first part of the discussion, which is Baldur's Gate 3 and Patch 5, is actually very poignant, we'll say. So there's a trend that I see with a lot of these independent studios. Well, I guess I don't think Cult of the Lamb would be really independent. It was published by Devolver.
Yeah, that's not well. That's what's
Devolver
weird. That's what's
doesn't
weird.
make like massive titles though.
No, but like Devolver publishes indie games, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, well, some people actually genuinely need help. Like the thing is that like I noticed across the board, dude. There's people that are in the Discord in this community that are indie game developers, but they have no clue on how to market their game or how to get it in front of people's eyes unless they get lucky enough to be featured at like Steam Next Fest.
Yeah.
That's it. Outside of that, their game just doesn't catch on unless something randomly happens and it catches fire because of that. You know what I mean? Games like Phantasmophobia, things like that. Look at what's that game that's on Steam Store right now, like a horror survival multiplayer game that's really big.
Oh yeah, Drake's playing it. What is the name of that game?
It's like Work something. I can't remember it. Lethal Company. Thank you. Lethal Company. Yeah. So it's one of those situations, right, where it's just like sometimes you just you tap the vein and you just get lucky. But when you have publishers that can recognize the value of an IP, and then they're the ones that can go out and actually market it their right way, and then, well, there you go. It's kind of a no-brainer. Yeah. But one of the things, this trend that I'm seeing is, especially with some of these games that are on Steam, is that you're seeing a lot of these labor of loves where they put out a title that's so great and the community is so ecstatic and so positive and so invested that they just can't help but continue to develop for the game because they just really enjoy doing it. Yeah. And the thing is what they do is they end up growing the player base even larger over time because the game gets more and more content, and then people get hooked in on that and they go, well, wait a minute. Why do so many people love this game? Oh, they're still doing stuff for it now. So you never feel like you're getting in on the end of the ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's been plenty of games. What was it? Was it Outward that we were playing?
Yeah.
This week that it hasn't been touched in 2 years or 3 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And it needs it. You know what I mean? So
it's one of those things too, where it's like, it doesn't feel good to join in on a dead game, even if that dead game is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, that can be different depending on the game that you're playing, but especially something that's more community driven, like a lot of these titles are. Yeah. But a really good example of this is like, it's exciting to get in on Cult of the Lamb. They're up right now for Labor of Love, right? Okay. And they're still putting out, because they've still been putting out free content updates. Hell, the game itself actually has a menu that pops up, and it tells you like what their roadmap is for the rest of this year, and then they're going to show what their roadmap is for next year.
Oh, wow.
Of like things that they plan on adding to the game, things that they want to continue to do, if they're going to put more bosses in or whatever. And this is something that's very indicative of these like smaller companies, these indie devs. And when I say indie, it doesn't necessarily mean these tiny little companies. It sometimes can be games that are of AAA quality. In my opinion, even Cult of the Lamb has some AAA qualities. It's a very pretty game.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate falls into that. I would absolutely see them continuing to develop for Baldur's Gate, adding more and more content to it for free for quite a while, to be honest.
Yeah,
I don't think this is going to end. The epilogues are just the beginning. And the thing is that like every new thing that they dream up is always something that's inspired by the community, and the dev team goes, why don't we think about that? Yeah, let's put that in there. And they just do it.
Well, you know what? I kind of feel like with as much as they've added into the epilogues is it was content that they already had. Does that make sense?
There's a lot more, by the way.
And the reason I say that is because spoiler alerts, plug your ears if you haven't don't know Will's story from Baldur's Gate 3. So once you break the pact, you still have to wait 6 months, right? And ironically, the epilogue is 6 months after the end of the game.
Oh, okay.
So it makes me wonder if they already had it planned to do, and they couldn't tie it all up nicely. To do it, but it makes sense.
I think the other thing is that there's just a lot of assets they have stashed away that didn't make it past the cutting room floor.
For sure.
And now that they're seeing that people are really interested in that stuff, they're going back and they're starting to add some of that stuff in. I would not be surprised if we end up seeing Upper City, things like that are there. The assets are there for the Upper City. Even the map, the whole thing, but they just never made it into the game because they couldn't really tie it all together narratively. Yeah. So, I mean, if they continue to work on it and you have a cell of people that are going to continue to work on the game, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows what else they could add to the game? I would definitely, another thing I'd probably see them do, I could easily see them add an official artificer. Like the modded one genuinely like plays and looks like it belongs in the game. Like the modded artificer that you can play, it genuinely plays and feels like it should be in the game already. And they already have like automaton enemies and stuff like that, like that you find at the what is it, the Mage's Tower, I think.
Yeah, you talking about the skeletal ones
in the Underdark?
At the Mage's Tower in the Underdark. Oh yes. Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
So like they already have the assets for automatons there to begin with. The mod uses is it uses those turrets that pop up as turrets that you can summon. And then also you can summon the automatons, which is like the ones that are there, it's kind of skeletal looking ones that you were talking about. And then I mean technically you also have the ones in Act 3 as well, right?
Yeah, the big ones, yeah.
Yeah, so like there's a lot of different ways they could go about using them. And I'm interested to see what they do, to be honest. I mean, maybe they do end up pulling that in. I could see it. Official mod support is the one thing that I'm waiting on the most.
Yeah, I'm super waiting on it. That's the one thing that's keeping me from playing mods right now is I'm waiting for it to, go through Steam kind of like Divinity Original Sin 2 did. Because there's just some things that I'm worried it's just gonna break stuff too much. You know what I mean?
I'm not worried about that. What I don't like doing is when you and I want to play together, if I have mods, I have to uninstall and get rid of those mods to be able to play with you. I have to disable those mods to play with you. Instead, if I have mods installed and you go to join my game, it would just install those mods for you to play in the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would rather have that, because in that way, if I'm using, like, I don't know, if I'm using some like visual mods or something like that to change like hairstyles or clothes that I'm wearing and stuff, I would rather something as simple as that you just also have, and then we can just play together. Yeah. So mod support's definitely going to be something big, and mod support's also going to be something that's just going to continue to make this game really popular to continue to play and also talk about for a long time.
Years.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would really, personally, I would really like to see Baldur's Gate 3 enter into, and this goes back to that Cult of the Lamb discussion, I would really like to see Baldur's Gate 3 enter into the same kind of zeitgeist as like Terraria, Cult of the Lamb, games like that, where like, you know, years after their initial development, there's content that's still being made for them pretty regularly by the developer, that they're just pushing updates to the platform. And then also on top of that, you have this vibrant modding community that's continuing to push the game forward. Where I very well could see Baldur's Gate 3 being completely unrecognizable after a year of being out.
Yeah. I don't know. They haven't announced that they're going to be working on anything immediately right after, right? So I imagine they're probably going to support this for the next at least 5 years, would be my guess. While they're either deciding on what they're going to start working on or start working on, they'll still keep a team to keep an eyeball on it and add things as needed, right?
Yeah,
that's what we'd hope for, at least.
Yeah, I really am starting to kind of lean on the idea that they may actually make DLC for this, even though that's something that they say they've never done and they never really want to do. The reason why that I say that specifically is just because, like, this is their most popular game ever. Yeah. And here's the thing. I love Larian, but this may be their most popular game ever, period. Yeah, it could be. Because, like, you have to understand, while you know, Baldur's Gate is an awesome game, and there's people that will pop into my comment section and be like, oh, Baldur's Gate was going to be successful regardless. There is no way anybody foresaw Baldur's Gate being as big as it is. No. There's not in a they're like, oh, but D&D is real popular. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut up. You wish, nerd. Fucking snap your suspenders and go back to bed. No. No. Like, yes, D&D has gotten more popular. Critical Role has definitely made the genre more, or has definitely brought it more into popularity. Stranger Things definitely helped it as well. There are things that have helped it, but do you know what's never helped it? Wizards of the Coast, the people that actually own the IP. Like, there might be outside factors that can make it a little bit more popular, but if Wizards of the Coast can't get their own shit together, then what is the point of you thinking that it's, what are you talking about? You trying to tell me Wizards of the Coast is a great company, knows what they're doing? No. And that's, well, you know, Wizards of the Coast did the same thing that it was like, it's like my only hindrance for Rogue Trader, honestly, is that they just whore out their IP. Does that make sense? No, they
40K,
do. They do.
40K. And Wizards of the Coast did the same thing with their D&D. They whore it out, and they'll let anybody make anything, no quality checks, right? There's no, like, it needs to be here type deal. Yeah. So that, and I don't think Rogue Trader's gonna be bad because Outcat's pretty good, but like, anytime I see 40 Warhammer on anything, it always makes me hesitate. Like, it makes me hesitate after I got burned by you, right? I got burned by you. Hey, lessons learned, right? Lessons learned. Yeah. But the funny thing is that when I look at, like, Wizards of the Coast, like, they have ownership of an IP that is so iconic that is entrenched into pretty much every piece of, like, fantasy gaming, fantasy, just about everything. Most fantasy tropes are based off of Dungeons and Dragons. Oh yeah. For sure. It's like, they very well could be the Disney of the fantasy genre, just because of how entrenched they are
and how many things that they have inspired. And the power of that IP that IP could hold, but that IP doesn't have that much power because, well, the people that own it have never used it for, they've never used it the right way.
Yeah.
If they made the right kind of properties and they, focused on doing that kind of stuff, oh yeah, they'd probably be a force to be reckoned with, but that's just not their way.
No, it's not. And I saw in the chat someone said that they don't really, Wizards doesn't really whore out their IP. What was that last D&D game that we were going to play that Cody loved? It was a hack and slash.
Dark Alliance,
yeah, super good.
Yeah, talk about a trip and a fall. Like that could have been like the thing is, it's also like them. Neverwinter is a really good example, but part of Neverwinter like was good for a bit, and then it was bad, and then it was just bad again. It was
Wooly, that 4K. Can't remember the name of the game. The Warhammer game that burned us was the ARPG one that they came out with like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, it was a Baldur's Gate, or not Baldur's Gate. What am I saying? Baldur's Gate. I was thinking Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. Like I wish that they would have just done a Diablo clone instead of whatever they did with Dark Alliance. I think they were trying to modernize it rather than being like, oh, well, we don't want to make another Diablo clone. Like, why wouldn't you just make another Diablo clone?
Yeah,
people would probably have enjoyed it more. But yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, I mean, but that's my hope. I'm really genuinely hoping to see them just continue to develop for it, and then also like I'm really wondering just how much support the modding community is gonna get from Larian. But seeing how Larian's been acting since the release of the game, I mean, we could very well see dev tools just straight up handed to the community.
Yeah, you know what? Yes and no. Yeah, okay, so and the reason I say this is we're just thinking, we're just spitballing here. So if they plan on doing DLC, they haven't told us that they're doing, but if they plan on DLC, you kind of don't like, and they don't want to upset the community because they know that their games are known for, good games, but the mod community does a great job, does a lot of stuff, adds to the game. Now I make a DLC, now those mods don't work.
I mean, is what it is, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is what it is. But like I said, do you think that they would be okay with just like, boom, here's the DLC, all the mods don't work?
Actually, the thing is that that I wouldn't really be worried about that, because if they have official dev tools, then most mods would be officially supported, and the most popular mods would be officially supported. And if that's the case, then those mods are probably going to work fine, or we'll just need a little bit of tuning to work with DLC.
Yeah,
a really good example of this is a lot of the mods that they had for Elder Scrolls. A lot of the mods for Elder Scrolls were actually for Skyrim were officially supported as such when the DLC for Skyrim started rolling out. Most of those mods just needed a little bit of a retouching, and then they were good.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think that's a very big deal, to be honest.
Dark Hollow makes a point.
What?
He says Wizards won't let Larian release modding tools because it conflicts with one
D&D. Oh yeah, they're. So the thing is that So here's my problem with that. Wizards of the Coast, while they have ownership of the intellectual property, the story of D&D, they have absolutely no ownership over the engine that Larian created to make Baldur's Gate. That's Larian's owned property. Because here's the thing, would that say Wizards of the Coast won't let Larian go and make Divinity Original Sin 3 using the same engine as Baldur's Gate 3? No, they can't say that, because Larian owns the engine. They can do whatever they want with the engine. Mark?
I'm agreeing with you. I just was waiting to see if you had a follow-up for it. But
no.
Yeah, if they own the engine, yeah. It's just the IP. It's different.
No, I wouldn't see. I don't think a DM mode's coming, because they've made a lot of mention that they didn't plan on making a dev mode. So I don't know, man.
The only thing that I see that Wizards of the Coast could screw them on is, I imagine that their initial deal with Baldur's Gate 3 did not include DLC, because they didn't plan on making DLC. So that's something they're going to have to renegotiate licensing wise.
Yeah.
And Wizards of the Coast, seeing how popular the game is and how well it's done, would probably try to ask for too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where I say that they could
I don't know. To be honest,
I'll
be honest. I'm actually really curious what the dynamics of that whole situation is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, they
like how much freedom do they actually have with the game? How little do they have? You know, I'm a little curious.
I don't think Wizards of the Coast was over their shoulder on any of it. You know what I mean? They just had
no.
to pay. You think
No.
were they?
No, I don't. Oh no, that's what I'm saying. No, I don't think so. I definitely don't think they were
over their shoulder at all. I just think they paid for the licensing.
Yeah, they just paid for the licensing of the story. That's all it was. Yeah. They just planned on making a CRPG out of it or whatever. I don't think it goes any further than that, to be honest.
There.
So I am wondering though, with like all of the massive changes that they've made so far, a lot of wide sweeping changes with a lot of these updates.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to be in the future now? Because like I didn't see a lot of the stuff that we have now coming. The epilogues, I didn't see the epilogues coming. That's for sure.
No,
that was not on my radar.
No, not at all. And the thing is, that's probably, God, that solves a lot of people's issues with the ending of the game. You know what I mean? Adding another 3,500. Is it 35? I think it's 3,500 lines of dialogue for the ending. I think that would be a lot of people, that's what they complain about. But I don't know. Like I think there's probably, I mean, what else can they do? They've done like, every patch they do is like 1,000 different fixes. I mean, they added Wing Chang physics. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to run around flopping everywhere, but here we are.
Doing the
you
worm.
Know what I mean? Doing the worm,
Yeah, I need to go back and capture that clip. That was funny as hell.
Oh my God.
So, have you tried honor mode at all yet or no?
I haven't tried honor mode. I did, like I said, I started a whole new, after they did the patch and everything, I was already in a game. And I said, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna go ahead and start over and start playing classes that I've never played before. And I started custom mode. Okay. Which is another mode that they added.
Okay.
So
you're a coward is what you're telling me.
No, you can make the game extremely hard.
Custom coward.
I was gonna wait to play honor mode co-op with a friend. Does anybody know where I can find one?
No.
No, but you can what you can tweak. They've made a lot of. It's really really cool. Like you can make all of the bad guys hyper aggressive. Give them all of like they can use more spells or different types of varieties of spells and all. I mean, it's pretty fun.
So one of the things I'm probably the most interested in is legendary actions.
Okay.
So from my experience, I don't remember legendary actions in Divinity, but I do remember legendary actions when we played Solasta.
Yeah.
Remember there was that vampire that could immediately turn the entire room black, right? He could cover everything in shadow. I'm trying to think. There was a couple other bosses.
That was a good fight, dude.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to remember some of the other legendary actions, but like they're not just as like my biggest worry when I hear like legendary action. I'm like, please do not just be some move that just looks at one of my characters and goes delete. You know what I mean? Like just drops one of them to the knees because like there's already so many enemies in the game. Paladins.
You know what's crazy with paladins is it only takes 2 hits to knock you down, and then their last hit just black screens your dude. He's done.
Yes, dude. Like well, we had that.
Ridiculous.
We were playing co-op the other night on stream, and we go to do the fight with Zayrel and Moonrise Towers, and my monk, which is like one of our damage turrets that just goes around and deletes things, could not stand up because it was surrounded by 3 paladins that literally each one would just be like 3 smites, 3 smites, 3 smites. All right, see you next turn. It's like
they're just sitting there like this, just like waiting for you to pop back up.
Luckily, I can attack with a bonus action. Also, luckily, when I attack with a bonus action, it's actually my hardest hitting ability. But still, it was just like, man, like it took forever to try to take those guys down because my monk kept getting knocked down, then healed, knocked down, then healed, knocked down, then healed. I'm like, dude, give me a break. Give me a break.
Yeah. So I went and this is a little off topic, but like I said, I started a new character and I made myself a cleric.
You made a cleric?
A cleric war priest.
Okay.
And my subclass is paladin, and its subclass or its deal is the Oath of Vengeance. So
okay, I dig it.
Dude,
I dig it.
It's super dope. So giving them giving the clerik the war priest.
Yeah.
You get like on long rest it refills, but you get 3 opportunities to do it, but where you get right off the bat, starting at level 1, you get 2, or not level 1, level 2, whenever you pick it, you get 2 attacks per attack.
Okay.
So it's pretty dope. It's pretty good. I'm digging it a lot. Like now, I think it might be my favorite class I've played so far.
See, I've always wanted to try either a cleric that was like the light cleric.
Mm-hmm.
Storm's really strong too, by the way.
Yeah.
So I played a little bit of a Storm one on I want to say a couple playthroughs, like my 3rd or 4th playthrough, or how many other playthroughs I have going on right now. But it has this really cool combo with water, like create water, drop the water on them, and then go ahead and combo it with your call lightning ability, because they basically get the exact same call lightning ability as the druid does. You know how the druid can like call it down in a specific spot and just keep that's my sound effect for calling down lightning. So yeah, no, I mean overall I'm really impressed with what they've added so far in this update. Outside of there was something else really big that they did with it outside of the epilogues. Oh, Minthara. You can actually recruit Minthara without having to do that thing in that place. It results in a lot of people dying.
Man, you know what?
There's a lot of people upset about that, actually.
Upset that you can do it that way, or
there's a lot of people upset that you can actually knock her out.
Huh. So back to me, because I'm getting onto this topic. So with the cleric paladin, I am playing it the most RP that I've played any of these playthroughs. Like whatever choice that the cleric paladin would make is the one I'm taking, regardless. I'm trying to not be an oath breaker. I'm kind of like an annoying Mormon, because like people come by to say stuff to me after, like, you know, they see some dead bodies. I'm like, I can pray for you. They're always like, oh, no thanks, I'm good. But when I went down into Kaga to talk to her, right? That's when she has the little girl and she's trying to hold her. Because I was a paladin at the time, she was like, I was like, oh, I can do judge. You know, I'm used to judging things, blah blah blah. Like I'm like
Me too.
Whatever, right? So comes down to like the paladin choice for it is to basically cage the girl, right? Because she was wrong. They got it back. Whatever. She's wrong. Girl tries to run off. Snake bites her. Kills her. Kills that little girl. She tells the was it Wrath? Tells him to like hide the body. And he's like, the parents are outside. She's like, I don't care. Start the ceremony, right? So I was like, well, this is where we're at. So I ended up killing Kaga and all the people in there. Got out, and I you know where the prison is in that town?
Yeah.
Right? Walked over there. All of the druids that are left have all of the tieflings surrounded in that room. And they are just shitting on them.
Well,
right?
Yeah. I'm sure they probably are.
I couldn't save a single tiefling. I did kill everybody, right? So there's literally nobody in this town. I didn't like do the evil thing. But
you're probably
like,
it's like Mithar is like, so where's the village at? And you're like, I
Yeah,
honestly
no,
wouldn't
no.
even worry about
that's
it.
one of my options. I was like, hey, they're already dead.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool. And
That's
then when
funny.
I told Haslin, he wasn't too happy.
Why do you
But-
keep saying his name like that?
Because that's my favorite. Halson.
Halson.
So I went and told Halson.
I correct you on what feels like a daily basis, and you're like, yeah, that Haslin.
Haslin. So Halson, I went to talk to him, and he was like, "Why did by that guy?" Just yelling and stuff. And all I said was, "I had no choice. I had to defend myself." He's like, "Okay, that seems about fair." And then no, I was like, "Okay, well, yeah, I killed all your friends. Yeah, that's fair."
Yeah, that sounds about that. Like, oh, understandable. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Haslin. So, yeah, I'm really interested to start that excerpt. Actually, somebody brought it up in chat. The biggest and best change that came to Baldur's Gate 3 in this last patch is being able to organize your party's inventory from camp.
Yeah.
Everybody's inventory, including the people not in your party.
What?
You didn't see that yet? Yeah. You don't have to recruit somebody to get everything out of their inventory and then kick them back out of the party to use somebody else.
Really?
If you send somebody to camp, you can manage everybody's inventory straight from the screen when you guys go into the when you go to camp.
See, Shashant knows it's Haslin. See,
it's not. No, don't.
So I'm talking.
Please,
goaded.
Don't encourage him.
So, yeah.
Look how excited he gets when one person agrees with him.
That's all I need is one.
That's
all I need is one.
It's literally all he needs. So that's actually so I'm not gonna lie, the epilogues and then the party inventory management out of at camp with people not in your party is huge. That's huge. These are the two biggest complaints that people had about the game since the start of its launch.
Yeah.
Now here's the other thing. Did you see there's another patch that's coming along with it?
Well, they already put out a hot fix for the stuff that the patch broke.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have some of that stuff.
Yeah, and so I thought that was pretty cool. Like 2 days right after the patch, they already had a hot fix for some stuff that they were seeing. So
yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
There's also performance enhancing stuff that we're gonna be getting as well. Did you see that? So as a result of them trying to get the game compressed down to be able to play on the Series S, they learned a bunch about their performance and realized that there was a bunch of stuff that they could do to improve the game's performance on our end as well.
Yeah, on the for lower end machines.
No, just in general.
Oh, okay.
Like even on high end machines.
Okay.
There was there's wasted data, maybe some memory leaking here and there, areas where frames were dipping where they didn't need to dip. They basically just, because of that whole process of trying to get it to work properly on the Xbox and on the Series X and S, they learned a whole lot about how they could basically just improve performance of the game across the board.
Nice.
So there's going to be performance tweaks that are going to be coming enough to the point where they thought it was worth telling us. Which means it's probably substantial. Yeah, it's probably substantial.
Pretty significant.
I think where you're really going to be seeing it in Act 3. I think that's where most people are going to be looking for the biggest improvements to the game. Is going to be Act 3.
Yeah, performance wise, yeah, for sure. I just now read that they added a brand new fight in the Wizard's Tower in the lower city.
Okay.
If you betray Night Song there.
Oh,
so now, guess what I've got to do?
Betray? Are you gonna give her up,
dude? There's a new fight.
That is true. That would be really interesting. Well, you know what I imagine it probably is. It's probably him, like godhood him, since he would trap her.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? At least true. That's what I would potentially think that it might be.
Or the trap doesn't work and you got to fight her.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is it just means that I have to fire up another playthrough. I'm already seeing some people. I was watching Wolfhard FPS a little bit today. He was streaming and he's playing honor mode. Killed the owl bear.
Did he?
Yeah, pretty decisively.
I'm almost on my new start that I started yesterday. I'm almost ready to go into Act 2. I just got to go do the crash stuff.
The crash.
The crash.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I'm just wondering, like, what are the toughest places? Because I don't know what bosses got legendary moves. The owlbear got one. I know that's for sure. Probably Minthara.
Probably, yeah. I wonder if Gut and what's his name, Raglas?
Raglan.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah, those two probably. The spider definitely got it. I know for a fact because they showed off the spider as one of the bosses that got it, and I'm like, well, that's absolutely frightening. That's terrifying. Like, that fight already
that spider is already, it's already, if you fight it early, it's a pretty tough one.
I'm gonna just knock it down. Zero fucks given.
Just push it off into the hole.
I will play honor mode with no honor. It'll be full cheese. Full cheese the whole entire way through. It'll be like, yeah, guys, this is how you play tough games, all right? I'll show you guys some real skill here. And all I'm going to aim to do is just push enemies off of cliffs. Done. Fight's over.
Yeah, there's a lot. Hey, go full screen. I'm going to use the restroom real quick.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Hey, welcome to the Just Ian podcast. How you guys doing today? So yeah, no, overall, I've been really impressed with all of the changes that they've made to the game so far. I'm looking forward to other changes that they make in the future. Though, like, the one thing that I have to say is that with all the changes they have made, like, they've made some pretty big ones. I don't know exactly what they're planning on changing in the future because the ones that they made have already been pretty big. What else could you possibly do? Is there anything that you guys, anything you guys are thinking about that you really want them to do for Baldur's Gate? And be realistic, by the way. Don't go off the rails. Like, sometimes you'll get some people that are like, I've seen comments. Oh, God. I've seen comments. I want full character story reworks for this character and this character. And I'm like, okay, you're not going to get full character story reworks ever.
No. That's not even a big ask. That's a huge ask.
That's major. I want all of the writers to start writing again. I want the voice actors to come in and do completely different things. I want them to fundamentally change the game. It's like, okay, all right.
I did run into a dialogue that said my two options. I had three options: was leave and then intimidation and whatever the other option was, and it said not found. Remember when it used to do that in the early access? Like, just didn't have the you couldn't see the option for it.
Oh yeah.
So I actually ran into that.
What are you guys saying here? I want Carlock DLC. Make it to level 13, 14, new campaign in Avernus. I would actually really like to see us go to Avernus. I mean, like, this is all based on Descent into Avernus anyway. So I would actually like to see if they did do DLC. I think that'd be a really cool route to go. Especially if it was like the story turn of like sending Carlock back to Avernus, and then we follow as a result to like try to find a way to remove the heart or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. That would be really cool.
That would be cool.
I want them to implement mod support so I don't have to keep starting over again. Fully understood. I want DLC, even though we won't get it likely. Yeah, I think everybody's pretty much on the same page for that. A simple, intuitive dungeon creation mode would be awesome. Yeah, that also would be kind of cool. Honestly, like, I mean, God, I always get unreal. Even I get unrealistic with these things because I'm sitting here going like, man, I'd really like a deep dungeon, maybe like a roguelike, like tapped onto the side of this. I don't fucking know. I want to get to level 100. Like, Elithian says, thanks for spending the time recording editing your videos. Great content. Lots of gamer friends share the same opinion. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Mark, is that you in chat?
No.
Is that the new Mark?
It's the new Mark. He actually spells the name right. So
yeah, the new Mark says, for me, it would be nice if they let you rename items like bags, so you wouldn't be able to have to. Oh, that's true. I would actually like to. I would like to. There's really good mods for that right now, where you can get inventory management mods. Lots of baskets, I think is what it's called, or inventory manager or something like that. But yeah, I would also like that for you to be able to just to kind of.
I've got a quick question
Sort
because it's
everything.
something I noticed while I was doing the goblin camp. So you know when you go to cross that bridge and it goes into the cutscene and Shadowheart has the relic and you know you get slammed to the ground type deal. It gets all dark and shadowy.
Yeah.
It blocks the absolute. So after that, there was a condition on us, and it actually had the artifact next to our names, like each one, and it said that it blocks out the absolute. I never noticed that before.
The psionic waves. Yeah, it's a tinfoil hat.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's what the buff is. Tinfoil hat.
Pretty awesome.
Blocks out the 5G. The absolute is actually just 5G. It's all an allegory for 5G. Yeah. So I've been really happy with the direction of the game so far. But the one thing that I will say is that something that I'm incredibly excited about is that next week I get to see Jeff Keighley on screen again. And I love Jeff. Sorry. No, I'm excited because Owlcat Games is putting out Rogue Trader.
Yes.
And Lord alive, 2 what would be high class CRPGs in 1 year is absolutely insane. Now I realize that like not a lot of people, including myself, like I have a hard time getting into we can talk about that in a little bit here. I had a hard time getting into Pathfinder. The rule set's just different for me. But I'm very excited for this game. I'm very excited. It looks genuinely good. I've heard nothing but good things. I'm a big fan of Mortismo gaming. I've been watching the guy for a long time, and he's pretty high on it. It's pretty obvious that he's really excited, and he has tastes that pretty well align with mine. And that bodes well for how this game's gonna feel and experience, and it's multiplayer, so that's gonna be that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, honestly, if Pathfinder had been multiplayer, I think we probably would have played a lot more.
Oh, if Pathfinder is multiplayer, definitely for sure. Well, that and from what I hear, this one is not real time with pause. This game is a turn-based CRPG, which means it's supposed to feel better as a turn-based game. The problem that I have with Pathfinder is that it doesn't feel as good as a turn-based game because it's obviously supposed to be real-time with pause. And my brain is just not wired for real-time with pause. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I might be a little stupid. I think I might be in certain ways. There's certain things that I just can't engage with. One of those things is real-time with pause. My brain, it just does not make sense to me. I'm just like, is this just auto battler? Is that what this is? I feel like I'm playing a mobile game. Where you just hit play and then 3 times speed and you're like, all right, here we go.
I know it says they don't have any pre-orders available, right?
Yes, they do. Off their website.
Oh, but it's not off Steam.
Directly from Owlcat. Yeah, you can buy it directly from Owlcat. It will give you access to the beta, I think, or something like that. Which I mean, it technically would be like kind of early access. I'm just waiting for full release.
I'll just wait. Yeah, I'll just wait 4 days.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for full release. I'm upset though. I was kind of hoping that I'd be able to get big enough that they would have noticed me and then they would have given me a release copy or a review copy.
It's okay.
But it sounds like they're only approaching people that are on Twitter. And since I have next to zero
presence
on Twitter, mostly because like I don't know, I must have like partial boomer brain or something like that, hereditary, I think. That just does not allow me to really understand how to grow or even really use Twitter. I just get on there and just be like, wow. I don't know. I'll get on there and say something stupid about AAA being stupid or something like that. You know what I mean?
Taxes are too high.
Hey! Yeah. You need to get sponsored by G Fuel and cigarettes first.
Well, no joke.
Welcome to the Just Gaming Podcast, hosted by Marvel.
Yeah, so it's got controller support, which I would never play a CRPG on controller. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I just can't see myself doing it. Didn't feel right.
So
right.
For some odd reason, if I have a fan here that works over at Owlcat Games, you just hook it up. Hook it up. If somebody knows a person that knows a person, let me know, because I want to get in on it now. I want to play it now. I would cancel the podcast. No, I wouldn't do that, but
this game is the game looks pretty good. It's got me pretty excited. Like I said, I'm not gonna let Pathfinder my issues that I had with Pathfinder ruin me for this or whatever. So this is like a fresh slate for me.
Yeah. So do you know what I'm actually the most excited? So here's the thing, like this game's definitely going like well under the radar, by the way. Like most people are like, there's a very small corner of the internet that's excited for Rogue Trader. I think this is going to be a little bit of what we like to call a sneaky banger.
I'm hoping.
You know, little sneaky banger. Like people weren't really expecting it. It comes out and they're like, holy shit, this is actually really good. It's not going to be as cinematic as something as Baldur's Gate 3. So I hope that there aren't people that are going into it thinking that like all CRPGs are like Baldur's Gate 3. But I couldn't imagine that would be what the case is. But I genuinely think that the game is going to do very well, especially within the CRPG community. Outside of that, I'm actually just really excited to get more into 40K lore.
Yeah, I'm yes, I am, because I was confused on like every game's different. It's like a different era of 40K, so I was confused on what 40K was. You know what I mean? With just the different gaps in time.
Yeah.
Of when stuff happens. But surprisingly, to your comment, it's Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader is number 4 on the Steam's most wanted wish list.
Is it really?
Surprisingly, it's number 4.
That's very surprising, actually. Here,
ask me what number 1 is.
Why is it doing this to me? I'm just gonna go back. I don't have time to keep clicking on things. It keeps black screening when I try to go to the other side. Ask what?
Ask me what number 1 is.
Number 1?
Yeah, number 1 most wish list game right now on Steam.
All right, let me think. What else is coming out? Oh.
You know it.
Is it still
It
on
is.
There? Even
it is.
The day before.
The day before.
Well,
with 255,000 wish lists.
Wish lists. Yeah. I mean, well, the thing is that you have to understand, like in theory, the day before looks like everybody's wet dream. You know what I mean? Like it really does. Like survival, third-person shooter, looks kind of like The Division, but it's also an MMO. So then it's also kind of like Rust, and then it's also kind of like these other. It's the fusion, the idea of the fusion of like the ultimate game, right? Like this would be the game everybody would play if it was being made by real developers in a real studio with that were actually aiming to try to make a real game.
It also comes out the 7th.
Early access.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah. early access, but yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's as far as we're going to see it come out.
That's the furthest we're going to see it. I'm really interested to see how many gullible people buy it day one. If you buy or pre-order that game, you are out of your mind. There is so much evidence showing that game is going to be absolutely nothing that I'm genuinely I'd be disappointed in you. If it's anybody in this chat, I'm going to tell you right now, I'd be very disappointed in you. I'd be like, have you learned nothing?
Oh, and the mark in chat is the Spanish mark.
Oh, so. He is the best mark.
Yeah, he's the best version.
The better mark. Yeah, for sure.
You ever seen that movie, The One with Jet Li? Yeah. Where he just keeps going in the multiverse and killing all the other hymns?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what Spanish Mark's doing right now.
It's coming for you, man.
It's coming.
You're next. You're next on the list. So I genuinely am really interested to see what the reception of Rogue Trader is going to be.
Is it going to be PC only?
No, I think it's on console as well.
Is it now?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I'm thinking, well, like we've been saying for like the last 3 months that Baldur's Gate has opened up the CRPG genre to people who would never have played the CRPG deal. So there's 2 ways that road can go. people are going to be like, oh man, there's another one coming out. I really enjoyed this one. Let me go try this one. And so they're going to have at that, it's going to be 50-50 if it's not their expectations of what, CRPG is with Baldur's Gate into this, which is going to be vastly different. They're all different, right?
Yeah.
And so that could kind of actually hurt Rogue Trader, to be honest with you. I think.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. All right. So, okay, let's say you had Liza P, okay? Which people really like. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
Liza P.
Yeah.
What if 2 months before that Bloodborne came out? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like a high bar's been set with Baldur's Gate 3, and it gets people excited about the genre when they didn't play it before, and then they're going to try to jump into another one that may not meet up to its expectations.
Well, and the thing is, you're probably going to have a lot of people that don't necessarily understand. Like they're going to be like, well, what do you mean? Larian's an independent studio. Why can't Owlcat do what Larian does? Didn't they make enough money off of their, highly successful CRPG that came out before this one? Like you're going to have people that are going to be like that I just don't understand. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's the best way to just say it. Like they're just people that are going to, what I will say is purposefully misunderstand. Yeah. So I'm not, I mean, it is what it is. Those kind of criticisms you're going to see.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think the overall reception is going to be good. What I can say is for sure is that Owlcat is probably ecstatic, not only because they themselves probably really enjoyed playing Baldur's Gate, but they are probably so happy that Baldur's Gate did so well because they're going to see so many more new sales because of the fact that CRPGs are on the market right now.
Yeah, and I think the genre itself will actually help it against Baldur's Gate since it's not exactly in the same genre. And no, I'm not talking genre of game. I'm talking genre of lore. You know what I mean? It's not a, fantasy. Well, it is a fantasy, but it's more science fiction than it is.
It's grimdark.
But it's
no, it is. That's what it is. It's grimdark. So it's like it's a mix. It's a mix between. Okay, so then so the elves just don't matter then. Just get rid of them. They're not even
elves lives matter. Is that what you just said?
Well, I'm just saying. No, I'm saying that like it's not like though it has sci-fi elements, it's still not just strictly a sci-fi game.
Okay, I get you, but I'm just talking about technology. Let's put it that way. You just
don't know what you're talking about. It's okay.
Okay.
Maybe you should have researched. Okay.
Oh yeah, spaceships and guns, because elves make sense for me.
Yeah, there's elves and magic as well.
Yeah, I didn't say there wasn't. I'm just saying this adds stuff to it. It's not just all.
I'm fucking with you, Jesus.
High fantasy. I'm fucking done with this shit. Tired of your bullshit.
Thank God. Man, that didn't take long, huh? Yeah. So, to be honest, you chat, don't judge me, but I've been watching at least like I don't even know how many hours long of Warhammer lore, just because I want to be like a little understanding of what's going on when I get into this game. You know what I mean? Like a little bit, because initially I'm cold. Like I don't know anything about 40K whatsoever. But I probably watched, I don't know, maybe like 8 or so hours of content on YouTube, specifically from like Wes Hammer and a couple of other people that have these like 2 or 3 hour long videos that they put on YouTube of like, complete concept stories of certain books in Warhammer. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, it's a big deal. Like I said, that's what was the most confusing for me is like what is it? Dark Tide, Vermintide. Then you have the RTS games. So I just didn't know like where any of it falls in line. And I'm way colder than even you are because I haven't watched any of that.
Oh, Bricky has some great videos too. Yes, absolutely, Samson. Absolutely. So, Mark, if I had to give you a crash course, and I'll give it to chat too. I'm just gonna give you guys a very brief overview of the things that I have learned myself. Okay, you have the Imperium of Man. Basically, there's a god emperor, but he doesn't want to be a god because his idea is he wanted to bring humanity like forward, like way forward, and he wanted to do it through technology. And he felt that them worshiping religion was a terrible thing, and he did not want that. He didn't want religion. He abolished religion at one point when he ruled the world, right?
Okay.
So, but then there was this thing that they call the Horus heresy, where basically his children, a few of his children had been, one was corrupted and attacked him, and then as a result of that, what ended up happening is he became gravely injured. When he was injured, this God King, the Emperor of man, like literally all of men, he became so gravely injured that they call him like the Corpse King or the Corpse Emperor now. And now his people do worship him like he's a god. He didn't want that, but it's too late now. They do it automatically because he's not like, he doesn't do the things he used to do. He actually like, he communicates to all humans like psionically.
Yeah, so I wouldn't know why that would make people start, a religion.
I don't either. he issues, yeah. But there's all these other races that like also predate man as well. And one of those is actually the elves. I cannot remember the name of the elves, but the elves are also another race far off in a distant galaxy. They can use magic. They use magic based off of what they call the warp, which is basically like another dimension of darkness and chaos. And in that darkness and chaos, the warp, there's actually these gods, these dark gods of chaos, right? One of them, Slaanesh. I'm doing pretty good here, by the way. Chat. I need you guys to do me a favor. Okay, I need you guys to
snap your suspenders, you nerd.
Yeah, I need you guys to throw up some likes and some hearts. Okay, I'm doing pretty good.
Eldar the elves.
Eldar the elves. Thank you, Eldar the elves. And I believe at one point in time, like these elves were like so fucking good, like so strong, powerful, that they basically became like I don't know, a little bit on the narcissistic side. They started getting into some more hedonistic tendencies,
as elves do.
Yeah, and then as a result, this Slaanesh came into existence. This dark god of the flesh, basically, of this carnal desires and things of excess. And yeah, so wild stuff goes on over there. The elves are not nearly as big as they used to be. They had the Slaanesh basically almost wiped them out. Now they got to walk around with these soul crystals to make sure that they don't like. Basically, if they die, they go into their soul crystal instead of having their soul get like eaten by this dark god instead. But our job in Rogue Trader is going to be us looking and trying to colonize other worlds and other areas, discovering other areas, and then trying to set up trade routes, all so that we can increase the expansive reach of the Imperium of Man. That's what we do.
Okay.
So we have a real long leash that we don't really answer to any of the other like factions of man, but we're going to come into contact with the elves. We're going to come into contact with some of these demonic races that are from beyond the veil, basically, beyond the warp. We fly through the warp. That's how we get to a lot of these places. It's how we teleport to some of these other star systems and stuff. But yeah, it's going to be it's gonna be a lot. Like there's some like crazy stuff going on. Will Slaanesh be boinkable in Rogue Trader? Slaanesh.
I haven't heard that word boink in a long time.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
So from what I understand, from many reputable sources, Slaanesh does play a pretty large role, specifically in Rogue Trader. So we'll see what that means. Yeah, I can.
Let's see.
I mean, dude, we're talking about like the dark god of like, of carnal desires. So like, it's probably got to be pretty good.
Do they have romancing in the game?
I don't know. I have no idea. We'll find out though.
I sure will.
I'm sure.
I sure will.
Yeah. I doubt it will be as in depth as Baldur's Gate though.
Yeah.
Or have the physics apparently.
Yeah, the physics. Telling you.
Yeah.
The camera angles that game puts when you're having conversations, because sometimes it's random. Like, and I was playing my first playthrough. I was playing with Gale, and this is when I was doing the nudist colony at camp, right? Everybody's in the nude. Well, this I was talking to Will, and I was behind him. The camera decided to come up right here behind his legs. So all you see is Sack and then Will's face.
Good job, Larian. Good job.
That was so good, dude. I was crying. It was so good.
Oh my god, I love that. I do love like the weird camera angles. Remember, like we had that with you and the bear.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
We were like inside the bear, and like yeah, that was odd. That was. I love it when games bug out in like charming ways that don't ruin my save file.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So Rogue Trader, I'm really excited for. Expect streams of it. Expect content on it. Expect us talking about it quite a lot. I'll end up doing like a full review, but realize that reviews take me a little bit longer because I approach games in a vastly different way than most people do. I'm not doing mine is where I would say like Morty does games on like full completion, right? So his is like overall impressions. I always try to look at games from how they make you feel. How does it feel to play the game? Not how well does it perform, not any of that kind of stuff. What kind of things is it doing in here? What is it making you do go, oh, I like that. So then we get a better idea of the things that we enjoy and why we enjoy them. So then we know how to look for those things in the future, because that doesn't necessarily mean, right? That doesn't necessarily just because a game performs well or that it gets a good rating doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
that it's a good, what you would consider a good game.
Or what you would consider a good game. There are plenty of games that I will not touch because I'm just not like Spider-Man. Got in the 90s. I'm never going to touch it. I'm never interested in it because even if I did play it, I would think it's garbage because it just doesn't interest me. It's just not a game that I enjoy. That's the kind of thing that I want to do. I want to talk about, at least understand, and try to be and try to make these videos that are more about like trying to reflect on the things that I enjoy and discover what that actually is to make better purchasing decisions in the future. And then also to better enjoy the things that I'm playing now, right? Because if you realize what you like and you can really tap into that, then you're probably going to be able to enjoy the experiences that you do have with games that you are having fun with even more because you realize the things that you enjoy, right?
Yeah, for sure. Chat, what's the best class in in 40K? What's the best class to pick?
Probably
I haven't looked.
Psyker.
Hey guys. Hey guys.
This is Psyker. This is Psyker. Marksman and Psyker, hard carry Agenta, Marksman. I know nothing about Warhammer. Same. I feel that energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the same.
To be honest,
I'm going in cold.
I don't know. Why even care? Just make what feels good. So Psyker is going to be your mage.
Okay.
They can use they use magic. They use space magic. Gotcha. Literally, that's what they call it. They call it space magic.
Yeah.
So like set people on fire, freeze them.
I think I'm going to use a gun.
I'm going to use magic.
A sniper rifle.
And in my and I'm gonna seduce people.
I'm a space succubus.
I'm a space succubus. So super excited about that. That one comes out next week. Release date on that I do believe is on the 7th or 8th. I think it's the same day as the Game Awards, if I'm not mistaken.
It comes out the 7th.
The 7th.
Yeah.
That is Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same day as the Game Awards.
So and I brought this up off stream while we were talking. Why are they doing it at 4:30 in the afternoon in California?
Because California is the only state.
Okay, but still 4:30. 4:30 in the afternoon is such a weird time for an award show.
Yeah, it is. It is odd. Genuinely odd. The other thing that we should probably chat about a little bit is, so I put out a video about this little game called Dragon's Dogma. And in the same day, they had the Dragon's Dogma 2 Revel.
That they did.
The Dragon's Dogma 2 Reveal. And, oh boy.
Yeah, the game looks amazing. It looks amazing.
Oh boy.
That's
like,
what I
genuinely, yeah, go ahead.
I just, like, when I was watching it, I stopped and I just, like, you can climb on top of dragons and just, like, stab them in the face.
You can
like,
romance dragons.
Oh my god. I know what I'm doing.
Watch me seduce this dragon. That's why isn't your sword out?
It is though.
It is, though. Oh my god. Oh man. So yeah, no. So initially my first impressions off of seeing more of the in-depth trailers and more of the more in-depth reveals that we've seen so far is, oh man, the Resident Evil engine is so flexible.
Isn't it?
It has like it genuinely it stands toe to toe with Unreal, because I feel like Unreal has this kind of uncanny valley weird feeling. Like it looks really good, but then it's at other times there's certain things that I see, like when people use like Unreal for game animation, it looks very store-bought.
Yeah,
I think that's a better way to say it. It looks very store-bought. Like you can tell that a lot of these developers are just leaning on the assets that are already existing in Unreal Engine 5. When these companies go and make their own engine, you can see how like original a lot of this artwork looks. Like going back, like dude, look how sick the dual hand looks. Let me see if I can like get him actually into frame. Like this dual hand looks dope. Absolutely sick. Like the way the cape's moving in the background and stuff, like yeah, like the animations are like fluid. It just looks good. It's just the best.
Does look good.
Oh my god.
Like their faces are what I thought. What was her name? Golly, when they show her, she is smoking.
Oh, that's
cool.
Okay,
dude. It's cool. I'm gone. It's
cool. It just immediately switched to this new mode. There it goes. All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, like the way the characters look, like the texture, their skin looks real. You know what I mean? It just looks cool, man. Just the way everything's structured, it just looks so good. And it's surprising that when you think it, because you look at it and you're thinking Resident Evil. You know what I mean? Like Resident Evil's made on this engine.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious that it is, because you can see, like, especially in some of the cutscenes, you definitely see that like Resident Evil style flair. Though the art direction is completely different, but dude, like the combat just looks so much more fluid, so much more fast paced. Character models look so good. Spells look even better. Monsters look even better. Mystic Spear Hand looks awesome. The new classes that they added, oh man, Mystic Spear Hand looks so much fun. I'm probably gonna main that first. I mean, you technically just level every single class eventually, but yeah, I think I'm gonna try to go for. I'm probably gonna try to go for it first. So you play Dragon's Dogma, right?
I started it, and I didn't get to play it. I did download it though.
Okay. Can you get to work on that?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, I'm kind of balls deep in Baldur's Gate, but
I get that, but we can only talk about Baldur's Gate every single podcast for so long.
Yeah, okay.
I need you to be on the same page as me, okay? You have to play other games.
What if I don't like it?
Then
what if I don't like it? See, that's the problem. See, what if I don't like it? Then you could be like, "It's the best game ever." And I was like, "It's not that good."
Okay. Do we have any other volunteers for a podcast co-host in chat? I'm taking applications. I'm looking for gamers, not gamer. Okay. I don't think that actually works the way I thought it would, but gamers, people play more games. So yeah, so I highly suggest you at least get a little bit more familiar with the first one. The March release date, like we're gonna be playing this game way sooner than I thought we would.
Yeah, I mean it does come out in a precarious time.
Why?
So because you have a lot of stuff that comes out right before it that you're gonna have a hard time getting through.
Oh, Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. So
Rebuff. Rebuff.
Curious time. So we'll see. I mean, you can also put Final Fantasy VII on hold, though. You know what I mean? You can. I didn't say you had to. I just say you can.
Have you seen Tifa?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying you can. You don't have to.
Excuse me?
Yeah, there's no way he's going to beat Final Fantasy in that short amount of time. There's no way.
How many weeks? You got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks for that. So I have 2 weeks to beat Final Fantasy VII Remake. I could do it.
Oh, you can't do it.
I'll do it on stream.
No, there's no way. There's no way in 2 weeks on stream that you beat that game. There's no way. There's no way.
Not with making videos. I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
I could do part of it on stream, but I'd still have to do some of it off stream. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I guess I have to play both.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
I forgot it is on PlayStation, isn't it?
What?
Final Fantasy.
Oh, see, yeah, chances are I won't even play it on stream.
Yeah.
Plus, on top of that, I feel like most people wouldn't even like ones in chat. If you guys would actually want to see me play Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on stream, I'm gonna say there's probably not a lot of people because most people are gonna want to play it themselves because you don't want to be spoiled on the story because this is not Final Fantasy VII story. This is something else. We don't even know where they're going. It's mysterious. You know what I mean? I feel like most people are not going to want to watch somebody stream it. I mean, you're going to have those people that just flock to that kind of stuff, but I would imagine most people are probably not going to want to watch me stream that.
And the DD2 is it's single player, correct?
Yeah. See, people already say I'm just trying to play it. Yeah. I mean, not that you wouldn't want to watch somebody play it. You'd want to watch somebody play it after you've played it. There's certain games that like I just will not stream because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to ruin my own enjoyment.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I have to entertain somebody while I'm also trying to enjoy a game. And Final Fantasy VII, it's not even telling me how to do it. It's just that like I just want to sit back, relax, and just enjoy the game. And Final Fantasy VII Remake is just one of those games that I'm just not going to play in front of people. Dragon's Dogma, I will 100% play that in front of people because I don't think it's going to be as story. I mean, it's going to still be like story intensive, but it's going to be more like combat grindy and, you know, like just going around killing monsters and stuff like that, having fun leveling your classes. I don't have any problem streaming that. I think that'll be fine. I think it's much more palatable for that kind of content to begin with. But with that said, that still doesn't leave me a lot of time to get Final Fantasy VII Remake done. But at least that can be like a chilling on the couch game.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I also don't want to have to deal with getting my PlayStation over here, hooking it up to the capture card and doing all that stuff either.
Yeah.
Like I'll do another playthrough of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on whatever it's like New Game Plus mode is or something like that if people want it. But like I already have like a long list of games that I plan on playing on stream anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be like I said, I'll get started on it, I guess. Well, okay, so watching that stream, so it's basically the same story, just set in a different universe. Is basically what he said. Actually, it's almost exactly what he said.
Dragon's Dogma 2?
Yeah, it's the same story, just an alternate universe.
Yeah, there's some like multiverse theory in the first game.
Okay.
Kind of. So like, again, I would just go play the first game because you'll get some experience. You'll understand what I'm talking about for that. I'm not gonna ruin that kind of stuff. But I think it's cool that they're actually introducing other races in this one because in the other one it was just humans. That was it. But we're already seeing elves and beastren. So maybe there might be some other stuff that they're still hiding from us. They showed off the Trickster class as one of the new classes that they're going to have in the game. Looks really cool. That was
pretty cool. Yeah, that looks really cool.
With the sensors.
Yeah, with the
swinging the incense around and stuff like that. I think that's going to be so it's obviously a support class, like a buff class, buff debuff, right? So like you have them on the side, probably distracting enemies, blinding enemies, buffing your allies, things like that, which is probably going to be really good to keep people away from your mages or sorcerers while they're like getting ready to cast their big spells. So that's like the one thing that I really like about Dragon's Dogma, and one of the things that I think it does exceedingly well over just about any RPG I've ever played. This game understands the fundamentals of like a party.
Okay.
You cannot solo as a mage. Like, you could, but it would be really difficult to do because it takes a really long time for you to do your incantations.
Yeah.
You need to have somebody that can actually draw attention away from you. But that doesn't necessarily mean that person to draw attention away from you is somebody that just does melee damage. No, that's why you have somebody like the fighter that actually can taunt enemies towards them, right? And they may not be the most effective at doing damage, but that's why they have backup like that mage that they're trying to protect. And then also somebody else as well that's over on the side that's dealing damage, like a ranger or an assassin or something like that. And then now they're bringing in a class that like it literally like it looks like they're taunting enemies. They're probably causing haze. Like it looks like right there he buffed his allies. Yeah. So it's awesome. Like it just actually has.
Yeah, that smoke dragon thing's kind of cool. It
actually has real party synergy, and a lot of games just don't really have that. Like most, even a lot of JRPGs, you'll see one of the things that they always end up just kind of just fall back on is that every single character is like independent. You know what I mean? JRPGs do it all the time, especially in turn-based games. Like they don't need the other party members. The other party members help, but the only thing that you'll often see is that they always rely on just like, oh, there's a healer, but you never go into like the core like the holy trinity: tank, healer, DPS. But this genuinely feels like an MMO party. Okay. 2 DPS, a tank, and a healer. Like is what you're almost pretty much going to want to run frequently, at least.
Yeah, I'm worried. Like, is it going to be? I'm worried about story fatigue. If I run through the first one, if it's the same story just in a parallel universe, it's just it's going to be slightly modified, but still.
It's just going to be a better telling of that story, because the story that's in Dragon's Dogma 1 is rather fragmented because the game got rushed to release.
Okay.
They never finished it. It's unfinished. Dragon's Dogma 1 is an unfinished game. They removed 40% of the planned content before the game's launch. Because Capcom executives said that they were out of budget and it was time to release the game.
That sucks.
It really does, because it's one of those things where it's like in that moment, those executives that were working at Capcom did not recognize how valuable of an IP that these guys had created, nor did they recognize the amount of innovation that had gone into it, especially with something like the pawn system. That shit is crazy. NPCs that are actually genuinely learning from your actions, learning from the actions of people that have rented them, and telling you about quests, things that are going on in the area. The funny thing is, like, I've seen some comments, like shitty comments on a couple of my videos where they're like, the pawn system isn't that complicated. It's not as cool as you think it is. Bullshit. Bullshit, because there's no other fucking game that's doing anything close. Excuse me for the French. Like, that actually, like, really angered me, because I'm, like, sitting there and I'm like, what do you mean it's not that impressive? There's not a single other game that does anything like this. That's inherently what makes it impressive in the first place. Most games do not have NPCs that are walking next to you and they go, wolves hunt in packs arisen. Like, not that that's, I'm just fucking with that. That one's just a joke, but the idea that you actually have NPCs that are like, I believe that these enemies are weak to fire. Or I think there's a chest around here somewhere. Or I remember a quest around here. Things like that. Those are really, not only does it make the experience a lot more engaging, because it takes out the need for you to have to do things like, oh, let me test this magic. Let me test this magic. Let me try to hit him in the eyes. Let me try to hit him in the feet. Like, rather than having to that slow chip away during combat, you actually have a support that's sitting there and going like, hey, I think we should try fire. And you go, oh, okay, and you try it and you're like, oh, it actually works. I think that's really important. Beyond that, the other thing is that they do genuinely learn the way that you fight. That's huge. Like they will combo with you. They realize the way that you fight and the things that you do. And that also makes combat as well as just moment to moment gameplay that much more engaging. And I think those are the things that this game does much more differently than many other action games or many other action RPGs, especially in a game that you can actually have up to 3 other companions. That's 4 people in a party. Yeah. And to have like that great of moment to moment gameplay where you're not the only player. And by the way, you never feel like it's all about you. And honestly, you don't even feel like you're the most powerful one in the party. The pawns can be just as strong, if not stronger in some cases.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have it done. I'll have it done.
Yeah.
I'm fast.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I am fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just want to make sure that you're fast. Playing the stuff too, because the problem is that when we get into these conversations where we want to talk about it.
I'm playing Dragon Dogma 2. That's what we were talking about. I'm going to play the game. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's better for, conversation rather than just being something surface level as, the trailer looks cool.
Yeah, it does look cool.
It does look cool.
Tell me it doesn't look cool.
It does. It does look cool. Yeah. So yeah. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. The funny thing is, I didn't realize how many things there are for us to play next year.
It's quite a bit coming up, and that's just what's been announced. So I mean, there's quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, far more than I expected. Speaking of, did you see that tweet for the Dragon's Dogma for Grand Theft Auto 5?
There's been a lot of tweets for Grand Theft Auto 5, but are you talking about just
the one actually from Rockstar?
I've got to look. I guess not.
Okay, so the one from Rockstar is just an image, and all it says is Trailer 1, Tuesday, December 5th at 9 a.m. Okay?
Yeah, I've seen that one, yes.
It has 149 million views.
Dude, that game is going to sell gangbusters.
Like, it is absolutely wild how popular Grand Theft Auto is.
Yeah.
Can someone in chat explain it to me? I haven't played Grand Theft Auto since 3. I played Vice City.
I thought you said you wanted to RP.
I played Vice City.
You want to do the RP?
Why would I want to do that?
I don't know. You said it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would probably kill an RP. But
yeah, I enjoyed 5. It was really good.
GTA 6 will break the internet. Yeah, I mean, like it's like the I mean, I get it because I think that I think that like Grand Theft Auto has always been a relatively iconic IP. I feel like every gamer has played Grand Theft Auto at least once. Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know what I mean? So I think that might be what it is, that like everybody has some experience with it. Somebody's played it. Pop culture phenomenon, we could say that. So one of the things though that I'm really interested with the whole Rockstar situation is that there's rumors of PlayStation potentially pulling some stuff.
There's no way. And here's why. Here's what PlayStation is going to do.
Timed release or something like that.
They're going to buy the marketing rights. They're going to buy buy this PS5, get Grand Theft Auto 6. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, or like the trailers where it shows
every
PlayStation.
trailer's going to say on PlayStation. That's what they're going to buy.
Okay.
There is no way in hell Rockstar is going to, after how they saw how 5 did going multi-plat and 4. There's no way they're going to put 6.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think that they would. I don't think that they would exclusive it. No, but I could see them trying to do timed.
I don't think
give us a month. Give us a month. Why doesn't Xbox just go ahead and buy them?
I'm sick of people saying shit about just going and buying a studio.
Why doesn't Xbox just buy everybody?
Dude.
Why doesn't Xbox just buy me?
I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of people saying that shit.
Phil, Buy me.
Buy us, Daddy Phil.
We're gonna turn this into the Just Xbox podcast, guys. I just got an email.
There probably is a Just Xbox podcast.
Probably.
No, like, I don't know. Like, that game is the highest selling game of all time. Grand Theft Auto 5 is.
Yeah, it is. No, Minecraft is.
Okay.
I'm almost positive Minecraft is the highest selling video game of all time.
Okay, we will. I don't disagree with you, but I just want to know. But I know that for Grand Theft Auto 6, wow. Wow, your sneeze face is horrifying. I know that for Game Pass, because it came out during their court case, I think they pay like $10 million a month to keep it on Game Pass. Grand Theft Auto 5, I think it's $10 million a month.
Yeah.
Or $5 million a month, something like that, which is crazy. You know what I mean? For a game that's been out for 10 years, that you're paying a studio $5 to $10 million a month. But the reason they're doing that is because they know people are buying those shark points and they get a cut of it, right?
Oh, the best-selling video game of all time is actually Tetris.
Oh man, Tetris! Look at that.
Damn,
it's been out forever.
Them Russians, man, they snuck that in, huh?
Dude, did you watch that movie on Tetris?
No.
It's got that guy that was in God, he played Elton John. He was in that movie. The Elton John kid.
No.
Whatever. Anyway, it's an interesting story.
The second highest most selling game would be Minecraft, actually.
No, it looks like. Well, I don't know what list you pulled up. The list I pulled up's got Minecraft, and then Grand Theft Auto 5, and then Tetris.
Oh, you're looking at Wikipedia? The biggest group of fucking liars in the world? I'm kidding. I have no idea, actually. Yeah. Well, that's fine. I'm actually good with your list because that list makes me right.
But still, I mean, crazy for an open world game to do that. The main reason I don't play the game online because it is 100% pay to win. I think I hopped back onto it 2 years ago or something like that when I got a PC just to see how it ran on PC.
Yeah.
And so I'm just walking the streets. I got all my stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. Walking the streets, see what kind of trouble I can get in. And a flying car comes around the corner and just smokes me with a rocket. And I'm like, all right, cool. I spawn, and the dude finds me instantly. Again, flying around and just rock. I was like, you know what? I'm good. And you know what's crazy is I saw that in the marketplace to buy that stupid flying car. So I was like, well, pay to win online. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like that. Speaking of pay to win, did you see all that Diablo 4 drama?
Yeah. So, and I've got a theory, as a matter of fact.
One's in chat for all the people that want to pre-order $100 expansion of Diablo 4, all complete with stash tabs and unique weapons that you can get before the season starts.
You know who I think leaked that? Someone who works there. That's who I think leaked it. I think there's a lot of people that work there that don't want this type of shit, and they leak it out to me.
Cody won. D4 bad. D4 bad. Yeah. So, okay, that's an interesting. Okay, I see where you're going with this. So you think that there's good people that work at Blizzard?
I think there's good people that work at all game studios. I think where most of these leaks come from when it's bad information, it comes from the studios. It has to. It has to have.
No, they're all
I think,
evil.
I think there's good people. I think there's good people that want to make games and not rip people off. You know what I mean?
To be honest, the thing is that if that is the case, if this was leaked specifically by one of the developers that were like, fuck no, we don't want to do this.
Yeah.
That's the smartest thing that they could do.
Yeah.
Is on the low, just sneak that stuff across and let it get out there into the public, because then at least that way they can go, dude, look, the public does not want this.
Yep.
Like, we're going to ruin our reputation. Now, the problem is that you work for a company that doesn't care about their reputation. That's my only thing. Like, I get it. Like, if that's the case, that's awesome that there's developers that are trying to do something to kind of stem the tide of the plans that they have for Diablo going forward. But also at the same time, you work for a company in which they don't give a shit about their reputation. They will milk their games, without any remorse.
It's a business.
Well, I mean beyond that though.
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing is that like this is going beyond just running a business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, so are you in the thoughts that this is a Bobby Kotick problem? Because I don't. Not since the purchase. I don't think this is a Bobby Kotick issue.
I mean, well, the management's still there, and so is Kotick. He's not gone. Yeah. He's not taking vacation.
But I imagine he's not making those decisions either.
Why wouldn't he be? He's still working. Do you think that he just quits his job the day that they got bought?
I don't know. No,
because that's usually not what happens. The thing is that like I've been on projects in the past, and I mean obviously I work in construction, so it can be a little bit different. But I've been on jobs in the past where like technically they could just hand that off to somebody else and just not have anything to do with anything, but they still work. Even though they're paid, even though their work is done, they still have to work because they're still being paid.
You know what I mean? The work is what I'm saying is I think after the purchase, well, in my head, I would think that.
But here's
like,
the thing.
I would think Ybarra would say something to Phil Spencer like, "Hey, this is what he's trying to do."
But that would directly undermine his current management, which is not a good look for Ybarra. And also on top of that, the other thing is that you're thinking that under the assumption that Blizzard believes that this is a big deal.
That's true.
And I think and to them it's probably just small. It's small fish. You know what I mean? We think that we see it from our perspective as somebody that would have to spend $70, $80, $90, $100. But to them, this is just like a nothing. This is them changing the toilet paper in the bathroom.
I like toilet paper.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Like this is
I get what you're saying.
A small fish to them. So chances are it's just not anything that necessarily hit their radar, and they don't necessarily know just how bad this makes them look in the eyes of the public.
Public.
But
perception.
they did respond. Did you see that?
I did not see the response. No.
Yes, they responded. So they had a developer campfire chat. Goes to show just how popular Diablo 4 is. I didn't even know it happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't even on my radar. And I usually keep I have my finger to the pulse in the gaming community for the most part, especially with RPGs, CRPGs, ARPGs. And I didn't even realize that there was a campfire chat. And it just shows you what the interest level is in Diablo. And the developers came out and they're like, "Are we planning? Are we going to make Diablo pay to win?" Now the problem is that I don't like the language that these companies use because the gamers listen to it and then they go, "See, guys, they said they're not going to," and it's like, no. They specifically said
asked if they should.
No. They come out and they said, "We don't plan to." God, Mark, there's a lot of things I've done in my life that I didn't plan to.
Yeah, I have kids.
There's a lot of things that we do that we don't plan to. And when you say there's a difference between saying there will not be and we don't plan to. Yeah, that's a huge red flag in my opinion. There's a massive ocean of a difference between no and we don't plan to.
Yep. And I mean, that's the same thing I was talking to you.
Means we could later.
Yeah, about like that is the exact way that Phil Spencer talks that we were talking about on the live stream. He talks in vague, like smoke screens of no, that doesn't sound like something we would do. Oh yeah, doesn't sound like it, but it is something you would do.
Yeah. So the thing is too is that when I think about Diablo 4. And I'm working on this video. I'm putting it out next week. It's probably not going to be all that popular. I don't think people are really going to like bite onto it because it's not like a directly a video game tied to the title, which those videos don't do not nearly as well as others do. But I do hope people get some value out of it and really enjoy it. But basically what it is it's like video game marketing is what I'm discussing. And one of the things that I see as a red flag for Diablo 4 is that I don't think Diablo 4 was as successful as people think.
What do you think people think?
I think
that sounds a weird question.
Okay. I think a lot of folks believe that because Diablo 4 sold gangbusters, it's Blizzard's fastest selling title of all time. $666 million in revenue in its first week and a half, 2 weeks, first 2 weeks, right?
Okay.
So over half $500 million in 2 weeks, right?
Okay.
Chances are that was when the most of the sales went through.
For sure.
Right? So then after that, they had a lot of pre-orders too, by the way. A lot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because people wanted early access. So after that period, they probably sold some more over the summer. I don't know if they actually hit $1 billion, because I feel like if they did, they probably would have said something.
Yeah.
I don't remember them ever saying they hit $1 billion. Not to say that Diablo 4 won't hit $1 billion. It probably will at some point, especially when you already sold $500 million to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So, however, what kind of game is Diablo supposed to be?
Oh, okay. So that's where that's what I was about to ask. It's supposed to be a live service game.
It's supposed to be a live service game that nobody's fucking playing.
Yeah.
Which means that nobody's buying the microtransactions, which means it is not a successful game. Yes, they technically did rake in their initial sales, which does somewhat cover the cost to make the game when they were developing it. But keep in mind all of the things that we heard about the game's development from the get-go. This is a game that was delayed a couple times. This is a game that's had over 6,000 people involved in the development process. This is a game that they spent unheard of amounts of money when it comes to marketing it. They made a song with Halsey and Suga, I think his name was. They refashioned a desanctified church in France. Filled it with, I think, 30 different paintings of commissioned art. So that not only are you paying for all those flights, all those tickets for people to go out there, all the equipment that you had to get out there, flying out the artists for the music video, all of those different things. The video production, the actual music, getting them to write the music, getting them to make the song, getting them to record the song. And that's just that one part of their marketing. Not to mention all of the other celebrity cameos, the weird dinners that they did, the one they did in Germany, and then another one I think that they did in New York City, and another one they did out in LA, where the only people that they actually brought were people in the media or content creators to it. So it's like, who the fuck are you even marketing this towards? Where they obviously spent a shitload of money on those events as well, probably $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on those. You try to add it all up. I think, do you remember, what did they say that the marketing budget for Horizon was? 200 some odd million?
Yeah, it was 220 million.
220 million. I would guarantee Diablo 4 fucking blew that out the water.
I just can't, like, where is the marketing at for Horizon? You know what I mean?
Well, I know that's a different story though, right?
Yeah, it is. But yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, at least with the Diablo expenditure, you do have the church, the music video, Megan Fox. Yeah. You have like a receipts of it or whatever. And I guess the rest of it would be what, digital marketing?
Right. But my question is this: how much visibility do you need for one of the most iconic and visible IPs in existence? Diablo is a well-known title. It is not some shadow demon that nobody knows about. You know what I mean? And yet they were like I would imagine they could have spent less than half of what they spent on their marketing and probably still been able to have near the exact same launch that they already did.
Yeah.
How many people watched the Halsey video and went, "I love Halsey. I love Diablo now." Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I guess it's cool. It got a bunch of views, so like, yeah, there's that. But come on, let's be real.
We should have got Haslin.
Should have had Haslin. But the thing is that the reason why I'm saying this is specifically because of the fact that like they've spent all this money. They spent all that money on marketing the game. You had your $666 million in sales from the get-go, but you have had next to nothing in what you actually plan to have in online engagement since then. People are not engaging with your microtransactions. People are not buying things from your store. They're not buying your packs, your coins, your outfits, your anything like that, because there's nobody playing your fucking game. because you guys spent so much time developing and making this game based on your marketing strategies rather than worrying about making a good game to begin with. That's not to say that the guys that have been developing Diablo 4 necessarily tried to do a bad job. I just think that the entire time that they were under the poor mismanagement of people that were more in their sales and marketing department that were trying to push the game in a certain direction to make it palatable for wider audiences so that they could capture higher revenue over the course of a live service game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the thing is like they don't realize like, oh yeah, Path of Exile makes all this money, but they don't realize why Path of Exile makes all the money. It's not because it has the stores and the cool looking armors. No, it's because the core gameplay is fun and people enjoy it.
Yeah. People keep playing it. They stay engaged.
Yes. But that's the part that they keep missing. They're trying to capture the money rather than try to capture the people.
Diablo was successful as a video game, not successful as a games as a service, a live service game, a gas game. Yeah, I don't know, like mismanagement, like you said, in the development part of it, so much shit went on. Rod Ferguson came in super late to try to fix it up, shore it up to get the game out the door, and they've made so many missteps. I think just in the gameplay, just the bones of the game. But it's not, like I said, it's not a bad game. It's just like, yeah, no one's playing it. No one that was playing it is talking to me about Diablo anymore. You know what I mean? Like, so I just don't think, I don't know. It's a bad look on the survey deal. And
yeah,
well, I mean, would you agree with me that you think it's probably come from the inside?
I can see that. I can see that because if I was working for them and I saw them wanting to, I don't know, make it where people had to buy stash tabs.
That's fucking awful.
That's what I'm talking about, though. Like, they're so disconnected from the idea of what it would take for them to be successful, and they're so much more focused on the things that would make them money that they don't realize that, like, you have to have a good game to make money in the first place. I've said it time and time again. The best game that you could make, the most evil, dark, monstrous game that you could make is a game that is fun and has predatory microtransactions. I'm talking about a game that you thoroughly enjoy and you don't care about spending money on because you want to. Not because you feel like you need to, because you want to. Because you're in the cult that much that you're just sold into it. You can't help but drink the Kool-Aid.
Drinking it.
Yeah. So that's the point to make. They're just going straight for the money. They're going straight for the throat rather than trying to give us something enjoyable to make us stick around and want to buy something in the first place. Could you like just the idea that they're thinking about selling stash tabs and you didn't even give players like a decent inventory space to even start in the first place? And you also already said going forward, we're working on stash space for you guys. We realize that it's we realize that it's making the game more, we realize that it needs to be there. But now all of a sudden you guys are thinking about making it something that you guys can sell to the player instead because you didn't design the game the right way.
That's so dirty.
Like, I know it hurts the ad dollars, but fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, it's genuinely disgusting to see how much control these the sales and marketing divisions of these companies are getting so built into how they're developing games. It's insane. It really is.
And a lot of it stems from, games like Fortnite that kind of paved the way for these live service games to just be microtransaction city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so bad. I mean, think about this. Larian, when they came out with Baldur's Gate 3, a part of their advertisement, the screenshot of the game, where it gives you a description, it says there are no additional purchases needed to play this game. You know what I mean? That's sad when that's a positive that's being said and everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." Like, that's how bad it is right now. It's so bad. Like, I don't know. I'm a part of the problem a little bit. Not so much. I mean, I did buy a skin on Diablo 4 when it came out, but
I can't do You know what blows my mind is that you bought anything when everything that they put in the store. That's the best part.
This is awful.
Not only like is it just not a popular game, but also on top of that, their skins and the things that they sell in the store are hideous.
Yeah.
They don't even sell, and nothing's cool.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because they listened. So there's a difference between listening to the community and doing what the community says. You don't necessarily have to do what the community says because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They can tell you where a problem is. They just can't tell you what the solution is. So a really good example of this would be something like the community saying, "Hey, we don't want to see Fortnite skins in Diablo 4." So then Blizzard goes, "Oh, okay, well we'll listen to them and we're going to make skins that look like items that you just pick up off the ground. Not even legendary ones, just items."
Yeah.
Just like nothing even looks interesting to begin with.
Oh, you don't want Fortnite skins in Diablo? Well, you're getting Diablo skins in Call of Duty. See, they won. They won.
They did. They did. Yeah, that was ugly. Yeah, I'd be really interested to know what the player numbers were for Season of Blood because I can't imagine they were very good. I mean, the Season of Blood gameplay trailer only got 120,000 views on YouTube.
Yikers.
Yeah, and the thing is that like all my guys that I follow that make Diablo content on the side, like their stuff is falling hard.
Yeah,
their stuff is falling hard.
Well, the game fell. It fell a lot. I mean, we kind of had a premonition about it. We kind of talked about it a little bit that the game would drop off a little bit, come back in a couple seasons, but it dropped off even harder than I think even we expected it to be honest with you. Like, because we were both pretty high up on it. And it just kind of tanked.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely my bad for like. But the thing is that like I appreciate Diablo 4 because the thing is that like Diablo 4 is the game that made me start to look at the industry in a completely different way, and it also changed the way that I approached making videos, the way that I talk about content, all kinds of different stuff. So if it wasn't for the failures of Diablo, then I might honestly probably not have come to the realization that I have about the industry, which then would actually mean that I probably wouldn't have a lot of these great videos that I put up over the last few months. So thank you, Blizzard and Diablo.
Don't get jaded. Don't be jaded.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was in trouble. Like, even though because I brought this up before and you were like, well, Overwatch is on Steam. It wasn't on Steam 2 months after it released. You know what I mean? Like them throwing it on Steam was like, that was kind of like when you start to see that there's just some blood in the water, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to get them extra sales.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. And the thing, that's the reason why I point out, like the reason why they're asking, oh, is it okay if we charge you $90 to $100 for a Diablo 4 expansion is because I genuinely believe that they did not capture the revenue and they know that they're not going to capture the revenue in the seasons. And they're looking to recapture that revenue through their expansion. Yeah. Could you imagine paying a full game price for a fucking expansion? They're trying to treat it like it's like it's an
MMO,
like it's World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're like, oh well, because it's always online and it plays like an MMO. It's just like an MMO, guys. So we're gonna charge you like we do for our other Blizzard games.
Shit, they bundled it with the Xbox Series X at $350, so the console dropped down that much with the free copy of Diablo 4 to try to get people in there for some microtransactions. Baby.
Yeah, well, wait till it's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
we'll probably pay. Dark Hollow, you need help. This is a support group, okay? It's like I already paid $90 for a while. We'll probably pay $70 for the expansion. Good Lord. Yeah. I would actually love to give them $70 if it was worth it.
Yeah. If it was a full feature, like it was as much content as the first game.
Guys, I really want to make this clear. For me not to go back and play an ARPG, for me not to make multiple characters and get them maxed out, for me not to play Diablo again, Diablo specifically, one of my most beloved franchises of all time. I played it once and have never played any of the seasons since the game came out. I haven't played a single one or two. I didn't play Season of Malignant, and I didn't play Season of Blood.
Shit, you only got your rogue, huh? You didn't make a.
I made my rogue. I got my rogue, and I didn't even get my rogue to like. I got my rogue to like in the 80s or 90s, and then I just walked away from the game because I was like, "This, it's just boring."
Yeah,
it's boring. The content's not there. The loop wasn't fun. The loot wasn't any good.
It was like running in wet cement. Is what it felt like trying to level up in that game.
Yeah. So I mean, like they need some serious changes to that game before I can even think about going back to it. So, it's just not the kind of experience that I'm looking for. Not the kind of experience I'm looking for. Outside of that, I think we're pretty much wrapped up, dude.
Yeah,
we're about to hit that 2-hour mark. I don't really have anything else to talk about today.
No, not really. I mean, the Baldur's Gate was a lot of news. There was a lot of stuff on that. So
yeah, I'm interested to see what their announcement's going to be because they said they have something special to announce. Do you think that's just going to be related to the Xbox?
Let's do bets.
We're doing bets.
Yeah, let's do bets.
Okay.
I mean, not actual bets, but we'll just bets and we'll bet with the chat. So there are a lot of conspiracies out that Baldur's Gate's going to be on Game Pass. That's what they're announcing at the Game Awards, right? I think, me personally, I'm not saying it's not possible that that's a thing. I think what's going to happen is on the Game Awards. I think Larian might do it because it's the same day as Rogue Trader, is it not?
Maybe, yeah.
I'm not saying because they're out to get Rogue Trader. I'm saying they're going to say that it's released at the awards. Like they can download it now. That's what I think is going to be
Shadow Drop. I can see that.
Yeah, that's what I think it's going to be.
So, Dark Hollow, the reason why, and I've said it before too, I actually do believe that they could throw it on Game Pass. Even though I get what you're saying, like it's selling too well to be on Game Pass, that means Xbox has to meet them above that. Well, that's how their contracts work for Game Pass, because they have to say, oh, if it didn't come on Game Pass and you just released it on our system, this is what your projected sales would be. We're going to pay you more than what your projected sales would be to have it on Game Pass. Yeah. So if that's the case, Larian Studios would make more money with the game on Game Pass than they would off of Game Pass. Yeah. Then potentially Larian could make even more money because once the game falls off of Game Pass, those people that were playing it on Game Pass will want to go buy it, so then they permanently have it on their console.
Yep. And just like I said, like with the Grand Theft Auto, they pay a monthly $5 million deposit to Rockstar to have it on Game Pass.
Yeah, and actually, Cody brings up something really key here. Game Pass is so abysmal currently. Xbox needs it to be on Game Pass. That is actually true. Like they were expecting Starfield to be a bigger impact than it was, right? Yeah. If it's mixed on Steam, it's mixed on Xbox. I'm sorry. Like not every Xbox owner is a Xbox zealot. You know what I mean? Most Xbox owners are probably just people playing video games.
I just saw and I believe it was from Bethesda, but I guess they hit the 12 million player mark. Okay, for Starfield. Okay, there are 25 million people subscribed to Game Pass. So 13 million people that could play it for free. I know Ian hates that. They didn't. They chose not to.
That's a lot.
You know what I'm saying? So it's this is just to back up your thought that it didn't do as well for them as they had hoped. That's for sure.
Yeah. So with that said, like Larian potentially could make even more money. Prospectively could make far more money if they did release it on Game Pass, because not only will Xbox pay them over what their projected sales would be, but then they could potentially capture sales afterwards when people want to buy the full game after it falls off of Game Pass.
Or if any DLC.
Because it stays on Game Pass for how long?
Depends on how long they pay. They pay to keep it.
Okay. Yeah. Because I know that there's some games that fall off.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And I think
this is the section of the show that we usually do a little bit of Q&A stuff. So if you guys want to ask any questions or you guys want us to talk about something before the show comes to an end, you guys can go ahead and drop questions. Make sure you just so that I read your question specifically. Make sure to just at us, like at Legendary Drops, and it'll highlight it so I know it's a question. I'm gonna feed the cat real quick while people are posting questions. You can talk to chat.
Okay. Come on. Hey, now that he's gone, all right, he can't hear us. Actually, he can. He's still got his headphones on. He's terrible. Telling me to play an old ass game. Terrible. Yeah, I saw Remnant 2 hit Game Pass, which kind of pissed me off a little bit. Because I paid for it like not too long ago. So yeah, I was a little upset about that, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not as good as the first one, but I also saw that the first one's on there as well, but it's, it's a little bit of an older game. Let's see what games. We tried to play Outworld. Actually, me and him actually played more games together this week than we have in a long time. Almost every night we played a game. It was kind of cool. We played Outworld. Is it Outworld? Outer Worlds? No. I think it's Outworld. And it started out being like super cool, super fun. He said my backlog is too big to consider Game Pass. That ain't no joke. I don't know. I did a pretty good job of running through it on my vacation. I got to go back to work tomorrow. Not super excited about that. So I think what I'm going to do next is I will play the Dragon's Dogma, I guess. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I don't think I have anything. I think I cleared up most of my my backlog of what I wanted to do. But like I said, I got the bug for Baldur's Gate again so bad that it was terrible. Yeah, I play majorly on PC as well. I mean, I have a PlayStation 5, but I don't play it. I didn't even buy it. My son bought it and he didn't play it. So you can still get Game Pass on PC. So, I don't know. Yeah. I haven't seen Steam usually does like a holiday sale. I'm curious to see what they do. I think the last two Steam sales, I really didn't find anything on there that I really was just like dying to get. I do have all the classic Castlevanias to go through again, though. I did pick those up. Steam sales just give me a bet. Yeah, that's for sure. Space Channel, how you liking Phantom Liberty? Did you see that they're doing a new update? Even though they said they were done updating it, they're gonna add that. So like on the show Edge Runners, like when they'd run, it do like that shadowy thing behind them with the colors. They're adding that, and they're adding the boss fights to be a little bit more mechanically fun to play. Anyway, you got several questions to read there, Ian.
No, I don't. You're lying. You're lying.
I'll read them to you.
Bully Ram asks, what games or DLC do you think will be shown at the Game Awards?
I think we're gonna see some exciting things that we either A, forgot about, or B, didn't even know about. I think Xbox is gonna be is showing from what I said, Phil Spencer's gonna be there. So obviously, if he's gonna be there, they're probably gonna show some of their stuff.
Well, so like we know Avowed is coming, right?
Yep, Avowed's
so
coming.
if Avowed's on the they'll probably show something for Avowed. I'd probably say Gears of War 6.
If they do, okay. So I am.
Remember, because they've already shown like the new Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Like Gears 6 kind of teaser thing before, right?
Yeah, I'm
playable
super excited.
Fable. Yeah, maybe Fable.
I doubt it. Playable Fable. No, I'd be super.
No,
I'd be super stoked to see.
Not
Gears.
playable. I could see Fable gameplay maybe.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I could see Fable gameplay. Yeah, for sure.
What if Sony hasn't really come out with anything this generation so far? You know what I mean? Like
Bloodborne remake.
Dude, I think they might have a mic dropper.
Bloodborne remake.
Mic dropper.
Bloodborne remake with PC day one. Could you imagine?
Yeah. Me and Ian played a lot of Gears on the 360. Lots of Gears. I think we played the first one for a year straight, like a year straight.
What else? I think we'll probably see some stuff on. I actually would almost guarantee we're probably going to see some stuff on, Witcher 4. Something on Witcher 4, because it's been a while since we've seen the teaser for Witcher.
Yeah, that's true.
What's a studio that we haven't heard from in a while that's been working on something good? I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Obsidian, we already talked about them.
Witcher 4 seems pretty early though. Maybe
some. It'd be cool to see something from id Software. It'd be kind of cool.
New Doom game. I don't know about that yet.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. I could see maybe Square showing something off. It wouldn't be the next. They could show off the Final Fantasy 16 DLC.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, because they do have DLC planned for Final Fantasy 16, so I could see a teaser or a trailer for the Final Fantasy 16 DLC.
You think it'd be too early? Too early to start the marketing, like trailer?
Ooh, yeah, release? Elden Ring DLC. I could see that actually. That's supposed to be soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Persona coming up. Yeah. There's a couple of games. Probably some mobile stuff too. You already know MiHoYo is going to be in there. Probably showing up like Zenless Zone Zero and some other whatever else. What else? Who else tagged? Are you guys seeing any interest in seeing Godzilla? What do you mean, Godzilla? I'm confused. Is there a movie? Oh, there is a new Godzilla movie coming, right? Like the Monarch ones. I saw they put a TV show.
Yeah, the Apple TV. I started it. I haven't finished it yet, though.
Space Channel 5 says, "Yo, Chooms, what up?" Steam sale.
All right, Legendary drops. Will GTA 6 platforms announcement release day and date on PC, and if so, will it be the EGS exclusive? Keeping in mind that you will lose potential PC GTA Online audience.
Why would it be an EGS exclusive? Why would it be on Epic Game Store?
No, you know what?
Take-Two's not owned by Steam, or Take-Two's not owned by Epic, are they?
I don't know, but
no, they're no, Take-Two's self-owned. I don't think they're owned by anybody. If they are owned by somebody, it would be
Embracer. Trying to think. Isn't 5 an Epic Store exclusive?
Take-Two Software owns Rockstar Games and 2K. They're not owned by anybody. So I don't know why it would be an Epic Game Store exclusive unless Epic has some like weird rights with them or something like that maybe. But I would imagine GTA 6 would be day and date PC. What musical are y'all listening to? I mostly listen to Spirit Box lately.
Except for not the Spirit. Did you watch the Spirit Box with Megan Thee Stallion?
No, I don't know why they didn't. Probably because of her name, it just didn't come up.
You know why Final Fantasy went to the Epic Store first? Remember when it came to PC, it went to Epic Store first?
Yeah.
Because Sony owns stock in Epic.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do. They own stock in Epic.
So Alan Wake was Epic Game Store exclusive because Epic published it. Yeah, but I don't think Take-Two's not gonna have Epic publish. They don't need a publisher. They are a publisher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't see Grand Theft Auto 5 being limited to Epic Game Store. I could see Epic being dumb enough to throw the money at making it an Epic Game Store exclusive.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, people will go buy it on the Epic Store. They're not gonna wait 6 months for that game. They're just not. No. That's one of those. It's one of those games.
I can't see that because of the.
Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima 2 would be wild to see. That's something I would be super excited about. Something to actually like brag about a PlayStation 5 for. You know what I mean?
What?
Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That'd be dope.
I do think that Sony does need a showing because their games are out.
Yeah, they need something.
Right? So like Sony has to bomb drop when they come in. Yep. Oh, you know what they're probably gonna do?
Last of Us
2
Part remake.
1, Part 2 remake. Yeah.
In a bundle.
Yeah, bundle Part 1 and 2 remakes. I could see them doing a Bloodborne remake though. It's one of their highest selling. It's one of their highest selling exclusives of all time.
I mean, they own the IP.
Yeah.
But they have to get FromSoft to make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which they might not want to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
that could be that. Honestly, they own the IP, so they could just send it for remastering.
Oh, what's their remaster is like Blue something.
Yeah, Blue Point or something. I think.
Yeah, Blue Point. I think you're right. Yeah. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima on PC would be dope. I would definitely 100%.
Sony comes out and they announce Legend of Dragoon remake. Episode 1.
Episode 1. Yeah, we're gonna make this so very episodic.
Guys, you need to understand. It's you guys need to understand. It was a 4-disc game, so it's gonna be 4 episodes, 6-hour gameplay, 8-hour gameplay that we're gonna release episodically over the next 8 years with DLC.
I'm actually, what has it been? 2 years since 7 came out? Has it been 2 years?
Oh, FF Tactics remake would be so sick if Square Enix was like, oh, maybe we should use this, really cool looking, really visually cool looking engine that we've been using for Octopath Traveler, and we made a Final Fantasy Tactics remake. People would lose their mind. Could you imagine Tactics remake on using like Octopath Traveler?
That'd be pretty cool, dude. Octopath Traveler's it's a pretty game. Like,
it's a very pretty game. They do a really good job with their there's some games that have gotten really good with 2D art or 2D art styles.
I think Sega came out and said they're gonna have it. I just saw someone say Sega, and it just reminded me that they're gonna have an announcement at the award show.
Sega
surprise! I'm sitting there thinking what is it gonna be? And they're like Dreamcast 2. I'd buy one.
I would. I'd buy 2.
I loved my Dreamcast. It was awesome.
Part of me wants to bring my Dreamcast home when I go back home for Christmas.
You have one and you don't have, dude. Bring it home.
Yeah, I have a Dreamcast.
Yeah,
back home. I have my Dreamcast with all my games. I have my N64 with all of its games. I have my NES with all of its games.
I hate you right now.
I
really
have
do.
my Virtual Boy with all of its games. I have
the red screen.
Yeah,
that's why you're wearing glasses now. You know that, right?
Yeah, probably. It's probably the reason why I'm blind. Did you see the Scott Pilgrim anime?
Not yet. No.
It's really good. In the last episode, he uses this thing to be able to like see into the past. And he's like, yeah, it's a space age technology. And you walk it, it's a fucking Virtual Boy. It's on the tripod legs and everything, and it has the same controller. He's like, hold on, let me pop some batteries in there. That thing took 8 AAA batteries. 8 AAA batteries. That thing sucked down juice so fast.
That's fucking insane. Yeah, you should bring that home, dude. I don't have
space here. I'm gonna get a bigger apartment after the first of the year. I'm gonna look for a bigger space. I want to get an office for the podcast and for YouTube videos and stuff like that, just to kind of separate it from the rest of the house, kind of cut down on a little bit of echo and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, like, get a better looking like display of things behind me, like, I'll do it like Young, just a pile of shit behind me.
That is the worst. Like, he has got the worst setup behind him. It is so bad. I would rather look at Asmund's like open bathroom door and like messy couch.
Hey man, he's making the big bucks, bud. Making the big bucks. All right.
Yeah.
Throne of crap. Yeah.
Exactly.
It feels like that. Never had a Dreamcast, but I bought a Saturn just for a fighting game catalog. Yeah, Saturn was fucking pretty good too, actually. Yeah, Tactics Ogre sold well, so hopefully they do FF Tactics. Maybe. I haven't played Tactics Ogre. I might do like a stream series of that game at one point. But yeah.
Hey, Wooly, did you and didn't the what is he like? He likes the PS, what is it? Persona games. Did the new one come out? Persona 5? Persona 5? Is it Persona 5?
No, I don't know. Persona 5 Golden?
I don't know. There was something on. I'm pulling it up right now. It was on Game Pass. They're all about Persona all of a sudden.
Yeah, Persona's really good. You haven't played it, have you?
I started. It was Persona 5 Tactics. That's what it was.
Yeah, it's like a chibi version.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to play Persona 5 Royal. It's super good. Super good. I had a lot of fun playing it, actually. It's a little bit of a learning curve trying to figure out how there's like a relationships kind of thing that you do outside of the game to like improve like your other stats, like your intelligence and your wittiness and your personality scores, basically. It's really good though. A little bit of a learning curve, but it's a lot of fun. But that is it for the show today, everybody. We have covered everything we want to cover. I am getting hungry. I want to sit down and play some games. I want to chill, kick it. I got work tomorrow morning, so you know what I mean? I just want to, do my thing. I appreciate you guys all coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We will be joining you guys next week after talking about the Game Awards, after talking about a whole lot of stuff that's going to go on next week. So we will... obviously see you guys next weekend for the podcast. I will try to stream throughout the week. Friday, without a doubt, I'll stream, play some games. We'll probably continue our epic adventures in Faerun on Friday for sure.
That's right. We hit Act 3, baby.
Yep. And then throughout the rest of the week, play some other stuff, I guess, if I get the chance to. I got to work on a video on Monday to try to get that recorded and get it posted for Tuesday. So hopefully that doesn't take me too long. Yeah, that's all I got. What about you, Mark?
My 11-day vacation's over, and I have to be at work at 2:30 in the morning. So I'm super happy.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I'm going to go get into the fetal position in the bathtub and cry a little bit. That's what I'm going to do.
Baldur's Gate 3 is banned from the podcast next week. Ooh,
you're banned from the podcast next week, Wooly.
Rip. Cool. All right. See you guys later. Have a great week. Stay cool, stay righteous, stay safe, my friends. And of course, we will see you in Baldur's Gate or on the next podcast. Or maybe not in Baldur's Gate because apparently it's banned for next week.
It's banned.
So yeah, thank you guys for stopping by.